of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Ladies and gentlemen, we need your assistance. Hands in the air for this last song. Here we go. And we're going to clap in time with us. Here we go. And clap. And clap. And clap. And
gentlemen, please welcome to the Toronto Jeunesse University stage, your president of North America, Mr. James Smith.
Well, welcome Jeunesse and welcome to Toronto University. Thank you all for coming. It's so great to have you all here. Is everybody excited? Well, I am, as you probably know, I'm from Canada. Born in Canada. My wife is Canadian. My wife Kelly, lives with my son, who just turned 13 years old, in a little place about 25 kilometers from here called Mississauga. And you know Toronto's been growing like crazy. Toronto is the 4th largest city in all of North America now. Did you know that? It actually beat Chicago. But did you know something else? We are number 1 at something. We are number 1 at having the worst traffic in all of North America. We just beat LA. Can you believe it? So I know it took you guys a time to get down here. I just want to thank you all for being here. You're in for a real treat tonight. You know, I was born in Montreal, and my dad was in the industry. And when we were 2 years old, we ended up moving to the New Jersey, New York area. And after school, I went to school in Pennsylvania, and after I graduated, I ended up in Manhattan. I lived in New York City for about 10 years. But then I had this calling. I had this real drive and desire to start my own business. And I ended up moving to Canada, to Toronto, right near here, at a place called the Sutton Place Hotel. And I lived here, and I took over a division of a direct selling company, and I ended up buying the company 2 years later. And I loved it. The best part of what I got to do was working with the field leaders and helping to grow the business and come in with incentives and programs and trips, and that's what I love doing. So I get to do that with you now, so I'm very excited about that. But the role that I took on that led me to Jeunesse was being the president of the Direct Sellers Association in Canada. And I had an opportunity to meet all the different companies and study every single company out there. And I also had a chance to work with our Canadian government and show them more about direct selling, or what I called social selling. And what's interesting is to see exactly what they thought of our industry and the perception they had. I also worked with Health Canada, so all the legal side. And the good news about that is it really got to study all the companies and see where I really wanted to go. What I really wanted to do was get back and build a field organization and build a company like Jeunesse. And so I saw the opportunity for North America, and I said, this is an amazing opportunity. And tomorrow, I'm going to talk about the potential for Canada and the potential for the United States for Jeunesse, and you guys are going to get blown away, because I'm telling you, we have an amazing opportunity. But I have to tell you, the thing that attracted me to Jeunesse, in addition to the great owners and all the things that you know, for me, was the product line. I think the product line is so important in direct selling today, more than ever. And what I loved about Jeunesse is that it was a very clear and concise point of view. Now, you all know the story about Randy, the owner, right? CEO Randy, and he had a knee problem, ended up going to California to get treated with stem cell therapy. And lo and behold, Wendy saw and had exposure to a beautiful serum that we all know and love right now as a foundation product for Jeunesse. And what I love about that is that we were and they were on the cutting edge. And tonight we're going to talk more about the Yes system, more about our products and how they work synergistically. And we have 2 very special guest speakers today that you're going to love. The first is Dr. Amzallag. Now, I happen to go to Hong Kong University. And I'm sitting there in Hong Kong University, and I watch this guy talk about our Yes system, not just our system at Jeunesse, but also where medicine is going. And I have to tell you, you are in for a real treat. So that's number 1. And then it gets even better. We have a gentleman, Christian Girotto, who went to McGill. McGill, as you know, is the Harvard of Canada, just so you know. And he's a researcher. He is a pioneer in stem cell research. And he's been working diligently on a product that combines nature and science in a way that will enhance stem cells. And he's going to share that with you, along with an introduction of a brand new product called Revita Blue. You excited about that? So what's great about that is you get to hear directly from him, and you'll have a chance to sample the product and get to understand it, know the background, and I think you're in for a real treat. So we're focusing pretty much on products tonight. And then tomorrow, well actually tonight, we're also going to have a little bit of the business building side, because we put together some very special opportunities for all of you in terms of packages that are incredible. So you're the first to get a hold of that. You're the first to see Revita Blue in North America. So a couple treats for you tonight, which I think you'll like. And then tomorrow, we're going to switch gears, and we're going to give you all the information you need to take your business to a whole new level. We've got guest speakers that are incredible, that have flown, and some have flown in just to work with you and just to tell you all their secrets. So you're in for an amazing, amazing treat. So I have to give credit to the team that we have here that have worked on putting this event together. Don't you think they've done a great job so far? And there's one person here who was kind of the glue that held it all together. No matter what changed, she seemed to hang right in there and did a great job. So give a big round of applause to the General Manager of Canada, Martine Girotto.
That's my favorite song. I think that by now you know it. And you let me dance it a little bit, which is very unusual, but I love you for it. So, thank you very much, James, for the great introduction, by the way. You have in front of you the proudest general manager in history. I'm not exaggerating, because that's not how I am. I don't dramatize everything. So, I am so proud. My heart is full. I look at you and I can't believe that, hey, we're here in Canada, everyone. Yes, we are. And this event, being here in Canada for a university, was once just a dream in my heart. And tonight we're here. You have responded so well to our invitation. We were sold out within like a month away from the event, which is also unusual and made us really, really proud. So thank you for being here. I mean, when I reminisce on the 2 years that I have been with Jeunesse, it's been a little bit more than 2 years now. Gosh, we've come a long way. We have. And all I can think is the hope that I have for our future in Canada, in North America, obviously, but specifically in Canada. I know that we have a total new direction. You've noticed the change with James Smith being on board with us. We have listened, and we are giving you what you need to succeed. And so I'm hopeful, I'm proud, I'm super happy, and I'm thankful for all of you being here, making me proud in front of all my American colleagues here at this event. Give yourself a big round of applause. Now, all this said, I'm here because I was given the honor of introducing someone very special. She's special to me in my heart. She's special to a lot of you here tonight. And Sannie, our double diamond director, and you will agree with me, she is the epitome of generosity. She is loved and respected by thousands of people. And I feel very privileged to have been side by side with her for the last 2 years, where I have learned so much. And her heart is as pure as you can find. And so what inspires me the most about her is that, and this will inspire you too, 5 years ago, that's not long, 5 years, she did not know this industry. She is brand new to our industry. She was a single mom just trying to give a better life to her 2 sons. And so she started to work. And look at her today. She has thousands and thousands of people in her team that love and admire her. And at head office, we're part of it too. We love and admire her. So without further ado, please give her the warmest welcome. Please welcome Miss Sannie.
Hello, Toronto Gymnast family. Hello, everyone. Good evening. I am so happy, so honored, and very humble, very graceful in front of you to share my gymnast journey with you. And my name is Sannie. This is Toronto. I live in Toronto about over 20 years. So this is my homeland. Where is my Toronto team? I am so happy Gymnastics University finally come to Toronto, come to us. And I know lots of people come from US. Where is the US team? Where is the US team? I know you come from New York, from the west part. And where is the Montreal team? Montreal, Quebec, where you are? And from Vancouver, from Regina, from Edmonton, and from the, you know how far, the furthest is from China, from Peru, from Brazil. Welcome everyone to Toronto. If you new in this business, or this is the first event you attend in this business, congratulations. And this is very important time, maybe very important time for you to change your life. Because 5 years ago, I was like you, invited by someone to join gymnastics, to attend gymnastics meeting in Las Vegas. That was March year 2013. I was new in this business, in this industry. Everything is new, but I have a desire to change my life. So I went to Las Vegas to take a look. Look at them, give them a big applause. Okay, thank you very much. So I was sitting at the back 5 years ago in Las Vegas at the corner. No nobody, no nothing in this industry. Don't know research, stem cell, e-commerce, nothing I know in this industry. But I'm looking for change. And I'm sitting there watching everything, every speaker on the stage, our founder, they share their dream. Our diamond director and the people who already achieved their rank, they standing here like me today, share their stories. Our medical advisor, our scientist, talking about the scientists behind the product. I like everything. I love everything. I see hope in my life. I made a very important decision in my life. I do gymnastics with 100% of my hard work. So that was year 2013 March. After 6 months, I qualified Sapphire. And within 2 years, I qualified Diamond Director. Another 9 months, I become double diamond. Thank you very much. Thank you, gymnastics. Gymnastics totally changed my life. Like Martine said, I'm just a single mother and with 2 children. The only reason I'm in gymnastics, I want to make a better life for myself, for my 2 children. And I made it. Not only me, I love this business because when you want to be successful, you need to help more people to be successful. So 5 years passed, we have 5 diamond director in my team, 14 emerald director in my team, about 40 ruby director in my team. Our business go over 90 countries with about 200,000 people in our Gymnast family. It is really a global business. It is really a business that can change people's life. Lots of people ask me, you don't have experience and you don't have any result in this business, how you can make this achievement? From my personal experience, I like to share 5 things with you. Number 1, you must be hungry. You must be the person who looking for change. You must have a dream. You want to make your life, your family's life better. My only reason when I joined Gymnast, I want to make a better life. I want to support my 2 children so they can have a better life. So they are my really driven power in this business, no matter how hard, who said anything or something, what kind of challenge in front of me. They make me so strong to fight in this market. Number 2, you must believe. You must be a believer. I believe Gymnast. I believe this is a once-a-life opportunity. If you want to know Gymnast, make you a believer, find some time, spend some time with us together. The more you know Gymnast, the more you believe. And your belief will make you strong. You need to believe yourself. We are regular people, but we have a giant within. We just need the right opportunity. And Gymnast is the right opportunity. Our founder said they set up Gymnast platform to be the bridge for regular people to be successful. So if you still chasing something, this is for you. Gymnast will bring the giant within for you to build a good business. Number 3, and it's very important, you need to take responsibility on your shoulder. This is a serious business. There's a huge business. It is a small decision if you foresee from the money view, because you just drop a couple $1,000 to walk into Gymnast. But if you see the result, it can change your life and your people's life, your family's life. This is the big decision you make. It's a very serious, huge business for you to run. So you need to put your effort, talent, passion, and sometimes some money with yourself, with Gymnast, with your team. Look after your team. Look after your business. Build yourself strong so you can build a strong team. So spend some time for yourself. And number 4, you need to have a serving heart. It is very important. You need to have a serving heart to serve other people. This is a people's business. We run the business by team. We cannot be successful by ourselves. Only we help our team, help the small new people, help them to build their strong, then we can strong. So pour your heart, pour your time and the passion to be with your team. Spend your effort with everyone. Lead them to see the hope. The last thing I like to share, the important is your love to Gymnast will make a big difference. I love Gymnast. I love everything. The product I love. I saw the product change many people's life. I love the people in this business, in this family. our founder, every time they talk about their dream, they touch our heart. Many people crying when they talk about their dream. Our founder, Scott Lewis, I still remember he talked on the stage. He said, maybe we have the best product, maybe we have the best compensation plan, but the very important thing is Jeunesse has heart, a big heart. If Jeunesse has heart, you work with Jeunesse, then you can get what you want. So this is the company that I love. So if you love Jeunesse, you love people, you love work with people, you love the product, you're going to talk from your heart. Even you like me, you don't have experience, you don't have any skills in this business, people will listen to you. If you love your team, spend the time with me, people will follow you. Your love will make the distance between people disappear. I see people talk about Jeunesse with passion, with love, and you can see from their eyes sparkling when they talk about the product, when they talk about the business plan, when they talk about the culture, the people. I love Jeunesse. I love my team. I love everyone in this business, the international team, the field leader. I learn a lot from this business. And this business gave me a huge reward. It totally changed my life. When we talk about the Jeunesse, we said, when you work hard in this business, it not only changes yourself, it will change the family behind you, it will change the family, around you. And your parents, our Chinese people really are family people. So when we have something good, we share with our children, our family, our parents. Is majorly 3 generations affected by your good effort. And Jeunesse is really worth for you to put your effort, to work hard, to endure to the end. May God bless Jeunesse. Hope everyone, each of you here, spend 2 days with us. And this may be a very important time for you. Like I spent the time 5 years ago in Las Vegas, and that 2 days become a very important time for me. It totally changed my life. I love you. I love Jeunesse. Thank you very much. Hope you to become a diamond. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Jeunesse University stage here in Toronto, Canada. Make some noise from the Scientific Advisory Board, Dr. William Amzallag.
Good evening, distributor from Canada. Bonsoir, mes amis, Montréal, du Québec. They're here. My name is William Amzallag, and I am Generation Young. Now, you will hear that all the time. And you can say, look, he's saying Generation Young, this guy, 76 years old. How come? I will explain you after why we can claim Generation Young regardless of our age. So we're going to talk about longevity, you see? And maybe you know the world record of longevity. The world record of longevity is 122 years, and of course, it's a French woman. Her name is Jeanne Calment. She died at the age of 122 in 1997. Now, what does this woman have so special? Nothing. She had nothing special. Come on. She even smoked until the age of 110. And I say to myself about 10 years ago, now, if she can do it, why not me? And if she can do it, why not you? You agree? Yeah. So that's become my creed. You know that any death coming before the age of 122 should be considered as premature death, unless Kalashnikov, road accident, or many things. And you agree?
Yes.
You agree?
Yes.
So let's put a target. Let's put a target for Jeunesse. And the target will be 122. Now, in order to do that, we have to give you some explanation about aging. What means aging? You know, until recently, we thought that aging was the result of accumulating years. Means, in France, for instance, if you are 60, you are officially retired. If you are 70, you are classified old person. And if you are 80, there is no classification yet. Means you are nothing. In 3 years, I will be nothing. Now, that's not true. That's not any more accurate. You know, in fact, aging is here in our cells, in our nucleus, is in our DNA. And this is a very important thing that I want you to understand. Aging is in our DNA. Now, DNA can be damaged. In fact, it's damaged every day. It's not 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 10 times a day. It's almost 500,000 times a day. That is our DNA damage, as we are still alive, which means that there is something happening to protect us. Now, from what it's damaged? It's damaged from outside, for instance, for environment, and there is many, many reasons for DNA to be damaged, for everything that we have today, including pollution, nutrition, and many other things. But it can be damaged also from inside. And from inside, the most important damage is oxidation. Free radicals, that's the one which is killing DNA every day. The second reason which is damaging DNA is inflammation. Inflammation, maybe you don't know what this means because it's silent. Most of the time it's silent inflammation. But this inflammation will produce some very bad molecules, you see, and that will kill slowly all your DNA. And the third one you maybe not know, it's called glycation. Glycation is when you eat too much sugar. When you eat too much sugar, you have, you know, a kind of glue, which is gluing all your protein together. You cannot even work because your protein is too much, they are paralyzed. So yes, all these 3 reasons. Now, even if you can go by that, we have a second reason to age, which is what we call telomere shortening. I'm sure that you know what are the telomeres, no? You heard about telomeres? Yeah. Okay, telomeres are these yellow end of the chromosome and the DNA. You see this cap, which is supposed to protect DNA. Now the problem is that at each division, and cells divide all the time, at each division, the telomere shorten, the cap shorten, and shorten. After 50 to 70 division, there is no more cap. Now, when there is no more cap, there is a rule in the body. We are ruled like a society. And the rule is, if you cannot be protected anymore, you have to suicide. And then the cell, even suicide, will become what we call retard, senescent cells. That's how we are losing every day more cells. And now there is a third reason. A third reason is about stem cells. Have you heard about stem cells? Yes? We are going to talk a lot about stem cells tonight. Stem cells are like magic cells. Means, how do they start? You know, how start stem cells in the body? How life start? It starts between a man and woman. You agree? Yes. When a man loves a woman, what happens? I'm not going to details. Biologically speaking, the spermatozoid go to find the ovula. Means you need 2 billion spermatozoids to have one lucky one which will find the ovula. And when the spermatozoid find the ovula, they form one single cell. This is the first embryonic stem cells. From these cells, we are what we are. Means they are going to build more than 200 different cells family. And more than that, when we're born, we still have a stock of stem cells in order to be able to go and help such organ and such organ, because it needs some cells. Stem cells are virgin cells. They can be whatever we want. That's why we have, we have a pool of different stem cells in our body. Now the problem is that stem cells, like cells, they have DNA, they have telomere, they can die also. The most important thing is to protect our pool of stem cells. And to make a long story short, there is 3 reasons to age. Is DNA damage, the telomere shortening, and our pool of stem cells, which is always shrinking. Remember, because this is based on this theory of aging, which now is very serious, that we're going to build our line of product. But before to go to the line of product, let's go to our philosophy. I started and I told you, my name is William Amzallag and we are Generation Young. When being that, what does mean Generation Young? Now, Generation Young is a new way of life, regardless of our age, It's a new vision of aging based on solid scientific evidence. Now we can talk hours about the solid scientific evidence, but probably you will be bored and I have limited time. Let's make it simple. It's that the definition is the same. Regardless of our age, what do we want in life? The first thing that we want in life is that we want to look young as long as possible. Tell me, men and women, if you agree. Yes? Yes? Yes. Okay, that's the first thing. We want to look young as long as possible. The second thing is we want to think young as long as possible. What means that? That means that I don't want to forget the name of my children, of my grandchildren. And I don't want to forget the name of my wife, otherwise she will kill me. Yeah? And that is very important, which means we don't want to go to Alzheimer's disease. This is a certain things in order to stay Generation Young. There is a third one, very important. We want to love young as long as possible. What means to love young? It means to feel about people, and that the people feel about us as long as we can. And this is Generation Young. A generation which think that just treating disease or just saving life is today not enough. We need much more. We need a long and healthy life. Do you agree? Yes. Let's go now. Okay. Now, this is what we call our philosophy. Now, a philosophy will stay a philosophy if we don't make any action. This is why, after our Generation Young philosophy, we go to a concept called the YES concept, which is based on Generation Young. YES concept means Youth Enhancement System. What is that? Well, if you remember, I told you that everything was in DNA. So, in fact, it's about helping DNA repair. Because every day, DNA is damaged. Let me explain you how we can do that. You know, cells divide all the time, million times a day. Each time the cell divide, the DNA also, the chromosome and the DNA divide also. Now, if DNA is damaged, what happens is that, you know that DNA are having the genes are the codes to manufacture proteins. Now, if the DNA is damaged, some codes will be missing. If the codes are missing, some protein it will be impossible to manufacture some protein. And we are protein. You have to remember, we are proteins. And if we cannot manufacture the good protein for the heart, for instance, we will be sick. That's why, you know, if we don't do that, we will have premature aging and chronic disease. Fortunately, we have a wonderful maintenance service in the body, which will be able to repair, physically repair our DNA immediately. Within a second, it will repair. So you're going to tell me, what do we need? Yes, if the body can do that. Well, the body can do that until the age of 35. After 35, the repair system is becoming slow and slow. So, you know, there will be some DNA will be on a waiting list, but the DNA cannot be on a waiting list because it's dividing every day. So what happened is that we will have some slowdown. And that's where we come here with Jeunesse. In Jeunesse, what we try to do is to help our maintenance service to be as fast as possible. And that is the Youth Enhancement System. Based on that, we built an entire line which is coherent. When we mean coherent, and that's maybe the basic, the core of our success in Jeunesse, coherence, which means that all our product makes sense. If you think about one product, oh yeah, it makes sense because it's part of the philosophy, it's part of the concept. And that's what I'm going to share with you. You know, we will not go to all the products, it's impossible within 45 minutes. But we will do the most important one. And of course, so the first one is about DNA damage. You know, this is the most important, is to try to help DNA repair. And for that, we build a product called Reserve. Reserve is a combination of 9 different exotic, we call them exotic fruits, and they are strongly antioxidants. And that's why the Reserve have a potential to help DNA repair because it will delay or save, you know, all that is possible against free radicals. So it is basically antioxidant. But the second benefit of Reserve is that by itself, by one of its ingredients, it will help you to fight aging. It's an anti-aging product. How? Let me explain you why. Do you know that if we eat less, we can live longer? Do you know that? Yeah. Have you heard about that? Yes. If you eat 40% less in terms of calorie, you can live basically an average of 30% more. Wonderful. Okay? Now, the problem is why? Why, if we eat less, we can live longer? Well, we have to go back again to our DNA. And inside our DNA, to our genes. You know, we have 30,000 genes. The point is that they are not always working full time. you know, when you have genes which are working, they produce or they give the code to produce protein. Now, 5% of our genes are working full time. All the other ones are sleeping, and they are activated on demand. But some of the genes will sleep all our life, unless we are in danger. And starving is a danger for the body. So if we are starving, what happens is that some genes will wake up, and suddenly we call them survival genes. And they will wake up, and then they will boost our system in order to protect our system against danger, and the danger will be starving. The point is that starving is not practical. You know that. You know that eating 40% less all your life, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, is not practical. So scientists try to find if in nature they can find an ingredient which can mimic calorie restriction without being starving. And you know what? They find it. Where do they find it? In the red wine. In the red wine, there is one ingredient, one big family called polyphenols, and within this family, there is one very, very good ingredient which has been proven to be very beneficial called resveratrol. I want you to try to say resveratrol because it takes me 2 months to say it. Resveratrol. Perfect. One shot. Thank you very much. So resveratrol, yeah, is one ingredient which has the ability to mimic calorie restriction. What means mimicking? It means that if you take resveratrol, it looks like you were starving without starving. And then what you do, you wake up our survival genes, which will wake up some enzyme called sirtuin enzyme, and this enzyme will boost our system, will boost everything in our system. You will be Superman and Superwoman. I'm sure the lawyer will don't like that when I say that. Anyway, what are the benefits of reserve? Well, based on what I told you, the first benefit is about energy, more endurance. If you have endurance, you will have more and more endurance. Which means increased energy everywhere in the body, from the mitochondria to the muscles, to reduce fatigue from the muscles, but also, and that is very important, to improve muscular coordination. This is very important for old people because they have difficulty to go down, to go up, and if they improve their muscular coordination, they will avoid to break the hips or whatever, you see? But also, focus and memory will be enhanced. But also improving fat regulation, which means that with reserve, you can hope to lose weight, to lose fat, and also fighting against inflammation. Means reducing inflammation. Who can take that? Everybody, including your pets if you have the money for it. Okay? How much you can take? Usually 1 a day. You can go to 3. We recommend 1 a day, 2 a day, 3 a day is okay. Okay for reserve? Yes? Yes. Thank you. The second point of aging is telomere shortening. I told you, if you can fight telomere shortening, we have a chance to live longer in good health. How we can do that? Well, we have a product called Finity. Let me explain you how Finity works. You remember I told you that at each cellular division, telomeres were shortening and shortening and shortening, like a fatality. Nobody can do anything about that. Well, I lie a little. Why? Because if we go back to what we call the sexual cells, the spermatozoid and the ovula, what do we find? we find that these two kinds of cells, spermatozoid and ovula, have full telomeres all the time. 100% of the time, they have full telomeres. How come? How come? Well, why? Why do they never shorten? Very simple. Let me take my example. I will be 77. Now, when I am 77, my telomeres are like that. Telomeres only. Telomeres are like that. Okay? If I marry a 22-year-old woman, hypothetical, I'm already married, my wife is somewhere. I'm sorry. So if I marry a 22-year-old girl, she has telomeres like that. Now, when we shift all that, having a baby, you know that the two chromosomes are shifted together like a card. What happened in the medium, the baby will have telomeres like that. Not maximum, because of me. What happened is during the pregnancy, there's millions and millions of division. So we will lose too much cells. In fact, we calculate that within 3 days, the baby will die. So nature have anticipated. They decide no. Inside those cells, telomere will be full all the time. How come? Well, a scientist from Los Angeles find out why. Because in this cell there is an enzyme called telomerase. And these telomeres, what they do, they rebuild the telomere all the time. Brick by brick, brick by brick. So easy. So the Nobel Prize, who find that, she said, why not we don't find these telomeres in all our trillions cells, 60 trillion cells? Well, the answer that telomeres is inside that, those our 60 trillion cells. But guess what? Those telomeres are sleeping. The gene of the telomerase is sleeping all the time. So it cannot be activated. Why it's sleeping all the time? Ask him. I don't have the answer. But what I know that there is many other animal species which have full telomeres, like lobsters, like jellyfish, like turtle. They have full telomeres. So they live longer than us. So scientists again said, how can we activate this telomerase which is sleeping all the time? And then they find an ingredient from a Chinese herb called astragalus, which one of the extracts have the ability to activate telomerase. We call it telomerase activator. And what happens is when you take this telomerase activator, it will help you to increase your telomeres. And this is how Affinity is working. You see? Because they have a product, an ingredient called TA65, which have the ability, the potential ability to increase the telomeres in every cell. Now, it will not do that overnight. It took you years and years and years to reduce your telomeres. It will take years and years and years to rebuild all the telomeres of all your cells. So how do you use that? 2 in the morning. Well, first, there is no need for kids to use that because they have full telomeres. There is no need for young women or young men to use that because they still have full telomeres. But for people after 35, we suggest to take what? To take 2 in the morning and 2 in the evening. Okay? Now we talk about DNA damage, we have reserve. We talk about telomere shortening, we have Affinity. Last one, stem cell. Do we have a product? Yes. No. Not yet. Not yet. Right. We don't have a product because this is very important to talk about stem cells. You see? But we didn't have a product until today. Now we are going to hear about, after me, about a doctor, Dr. Christian Drapeau, which, by the way, I read his book in France about 6 or 7 years ago. I never met him, and met him recently in Los Angeles. So he writes this book in English and in French, but he's coming to talk about the missing point, the missing link that we have in order to be coherent, like I told you, to work on DNA damage, to work on telomere shortening, and to work on shrinking our pool of stem cells. Now, there is a product which works on the three, on DNA damage, on telomere shortening, but at a lesser way. It's called AMPM. And it has been designed by Dr. G.M. Papa. Dr. G.M. Papa, who had been a Nobel Prize nominee several years ago. And he wants this product AM and PM based on chronobiology. Why? Because we know that during the day, what do we have to do? Amazingly, during the day, we are spending energy. We are talking, we are working, we are eating. But basically, the role is to spend energy. And all our system, and especially our hormones, are oriented to spending energy. During the night is a reverse. During the night, we are repairing, we are maintaining, we are rebuilding energy, and our system is designed to repair. This is why it creates AM for the morning and PM in the evening. Now, all these 75 ingredients that we have inside are targeted to help activate the good gene and to help to deactivate the bad gene. It's quite complicated, but that's what he did with AMPM. And you take 2 a.m. in the morning, 2 p.m. in the evening. Who is taking that? Every adult, no kids. Starting 14 or 15 years, but not before. Okay? So you have AMPM, we have Finity, we have Reserve, we have the new product that we will talk about. Next. Nahara. Have you heard about Nahara? Yes. Can you pronounce it? Nahara. Nahara. Perfect. Now, Nahara means young girls in Tupi. Tupi is a tribe from Brazil. By the way, it's mean also young girl in Hebrew. I don't know how they do that. But it's mean young girl. That's why we choose the name of Nahara. Nahara is about skincare. Nahara is proper skincare, which means that skincare has to be taken care from inside and from outside. And that is the important things of Nahara. This is why we designed it, to go together and to go to the first of the 3 things of generation. We want to look young as long as possible. So Nahara is in coherence in our line of product. What is Nahara? It's a combination of collagen, hydrolyzed collagen, vitamin, mineral, amino acids, and antioxidants. Now, what is the most important here? Well, everything is important, but let's talk about collagen. You know, collagen is a protein that we have everywhere. Everywhere in our body we have collagen. And we have, we have different kind of collagen everywhere. We have, in fact, 5 types of collagen. The most important for us, for the skin at least, is what we call type 1 collagen. We don't have time today to go to the 5 types, but you will find it. So, type 1 collagen is very important. Now, the second question is, why do we use hydrolyzed collagen? Now, you have to understand that collagen is a very long protein. A protein which is made of a lot of amino acids, more than 1,000. Now, you know, or maybe you don't know that when we eat protein, beef or cheese or what, the body is breaking down the protein in order to make small molecules called amino acids. In order for our digestive system to go through the system, it has to be small enough. And in fact, collagen is so big that it's impossible to go like that. Now, what we try to do is to facilitate the work of the body by already cutting, breaking down, not in amino acid, but in a group of peptide. We call it polypeptide. It's a group of amino acids which are small enough to cross the barrier. This is why we use hydrolyzed collagen. Now, this collagen is coming from two sources, depending. I don't know if you receive Nahara from the US here, it will be, the collagen will be from fish source, from the skin of the fish. But in Europe, for instance, we still receive it from the beef, from animal protein, okay? Just for your information. Now, after that, and just to give you an idea about collagen. Collagen is very important to make a kind of mattress in the skin in order to give flexibility to the skin. And that's when you have flexibility, you don't have wrinkles, or very few wrinkles. Means you need this collagen in the skin in order to keep your skin radiant, to keep it, all the time hydrated and so on. So yes, this is important, collagen, for the benefit of the skin, all our skin. Now, on top of collagen, you have all the vitamins which are important to make the chemical reaction in the skin working. You need vitamin B6, all the B vitamin C, and the vitamin B3. And of course, you need one very important thing, zinc. Now, everybody needs zinc. Everybody needs zinc. But especially if you want to get a good skin, you need zinc. On top of that, you have 6 superfoods, which are combined, if you want, with a reserve. They are approximately the same one. This is why I told you, if you want to use Nahara in the best way, you have to combine it, of course, with serum, because you go inside, you go outside. But on top of that, if you put reserve, you have even more antioxidant to fight against UV, to fight against all the oxidation of the skin. Now let me just give you some advices about food, because if you want to have a proper skin, you have to take the proper food. And for instance, you have to avoid certain type of food. For instance, of course, the sugar. You know that. You know sugar. I'm not going to tell you it's bad, it's bad. Now, it's bad certainly for the skin, because one thing, it's called glycation, as I told you. But glycation is very, very important. It's very bad for the skin because it glue all the protein and certainly the collagen too. So you have to avoid sugar, or to avoid too much sugar to get a good skin. Also, all the processed foods and all the fried foods, you see, and barbecue at the minimum, because it gives what we call glycation, advanced glycation protein. So, but you have also the best for the skin. What are the best? By far, the number one is avocado. Yes, avocado is the oil, baby. But it's one of the best products for the skin. The second one is salmon, white salmon. To eat and not to put on the skin, huh? You agree, huh? Third, broccoli. Number 4, what we call bone broth. You know, you take a chicken, you take only the bone of the chicken, you make the bone cooking for a long time, you put inside vegetables, some spice, and you have a soup. And what is this soup? Is pure collagen. Pure collagen. So drink a bone broth every day and your skin will be perfect. I guarantee you. Next, use probiotics. You know that our gut is controlling everything. Maybe you don't know that, but you will learn that very quickly. Our gut is full of microbes. And these microbes are very important for our health. This is why you have to eat what we call prebiotics, fibers mainly, and probiotics, which are bacteria. You can buy it at the health food store. Okay, for Nahara? Next, mind. You certainly have heard about mind. Let's go fast. I still have 8 minutes. If we want to think young, we have to have a good brain, you're right? And we have to have a good memory. Because memory is what we are and what we will become in the future. You see, and you have to know that the brain began to age at the age of 25. Very early. From the age of 50, after, the weight of the brain will be reduced drastically. Drastically. Worst, the speed of processing information will be drastically reduced. So everything will go and slow down. Everything on the brain. Global slowdown of all the function of the brain. This is why we build mind. Mind was number one, of course, not with the eye. Did you notice it? Mind is made by some ingredient, but the most important is called SERA-Q. SERA-Q is from the silkworm cocoon. It's look amazing, but it has been used by Koreans for years and years and thousands of years, and to support our brain. You see, it's a hydrolyzed protein which is helping a lot to support memory. And this is the first ingredient. The second one is GABA, G-A-B-A. And I don't have to give you the chemical word, but remember, GABA. GABA is wonderful to relax during the evening. If you really want to sleep well, if you take PM and GABA, you will dream all the night with that. It will relax you. GABA is very good to make the brain, at a peaceful way. And then you have what we call L-tyrosine. L-tyrosine will speed the processing information. And then we have what we call L-theanine. L-theanine also will speed the connection between the synapse. Okay? So yes, remember more, remember better. You have to take only one mind per day is enough. Okay with mine? Let's go to the last one. Luminous. I'm sure you have heard about Dr. Newman, Nathan Newman. Have you heard about him?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Have you been there?
Yeah.
Never? Ask Martine to ask Dr. Newman. Don't forget. Okay? Now, Dr. Newman is at the origin of the company. You know the story. We tell you the story many times. But he built this wonderful product called the serum. So what happened is that with this product, we call it from stem cells to soluble factor or growth factor, doesn't matter. What happened is when Randy saw a bottle in his office, in Dr. Newman's office, he thought that he put stem cells inside the bottle. And he was crazy. He said, well, the market, remember, the company was not formed at this time, 10 years ago. He was being treated by Dr. Newman for something else. And he said, Dr. Newman, have you put stem cells in this bottle? And Dr. Newman smiled to him and said, stem cells, there is no stem cells in this product. There is no stem cells. Why? Because stem cells are living cells, fresh cells. They cannot survive outside the environment. If you put stem cells in a vial, in a bottle, they will die immediately. Oh, Randy was very disappointed. So like he's known that Nathan tell him, but I have a good news for you. There is no stem cells in this product, But everything in this product is produced by the stem cells. Now, he said, you have to explain me that. And by the way, he explained, Randy go back to Florida, he talked to Wendy, he said to Wendy, let's do a company. They call it Jeunesse. Jeunesse born. They called back Nathan and said, Nathan, we open a company for your product. How many you sell every month? He said 40 to 50. What about selling 40,000? Now we are selling 400,000. She said, Dr. Naman is very happy, Dr. Newman. So how come in this product, no stem cells, but everything is produced by the stem cells? You have to know that stem cells are very special, and maybe Dr. Drapeau will explain you how it's worked. But stem cells, when you put them in the right environment, they love to duplicate, like rabbits. Put two stem cells together, they will become millions after 1 week. So that's what he do. Dr. Newman, he takes some stem cells from different origin, he put it in a gel, nutritional gel, and he let them duplicate. Now, when they duplicate, they also do something very special. They release molecules. Now, I say molecules. Molecules are neutral. They are not living cells. Molecules can stay alive. They don't even have to be alive. They are not fresh cells. So they can stay. If you put them on the skin, they will stay on the skin. They will act. Now, what are these special molecules? What are they doing in the body? You know, they are what we call signaling molecules. Now, it's important to understand what means signaling molecules. I'll give you an example. When I was 18 years old, 28 years old, I'm sorry. It's a long time. I was a strong man, very strong. And my daughter, her name is Leticia, not this one, another one, she told me, Dad, show me your muscles. Ah. I did that. Bam! And the muscle bumped like that. And she looked at me and said, how do you do that, Dad? Easy. Talk to my brain. I asked my brain, bump the muscle, and the muscle bumped. Why? We had signaling molecule going from here to here, which come from here, say the order is to bump. That's what we call signaling molecule. We have plenty of signaling molecule in our body for every mission, for every target. And growth factors are signaling molecules. So what do they do? First, they have to enter in the skin cells. That's what they do. They are authorized to enter. So second things is when they enter in the cell, they give order. They say, please repair, please maintain, please regenerate. And that's how the system is working. By signaling, but not only that, when the signal is inside one cell, the signal go amplifying and go to the surrounding area, still in the epidermis here. And then the signal go deep. It go in the dermis. It's a signal, not the molecule. Then the signal go in the dermis and say, please synthesize collagen. Please synthesize elastin. And there is the business in the dermis. So that's how this product have a wide range of benefits that you will find probably in many, many other things, including in Jeunesse Longevity TV. Conclusion. What I want to tell you about what I said tonight, I still finish, you see. Life is about choices. You see, every day we make choices. Some are important, some are not important, but we do hundreds and hundreds of choices. Now, you want to be wealthy, because you are here in Jeunesse, you want to be wealthy. You have to remember one thing. To be wealthy requires a lot of energy.
Yes.
And if you want to have a lot of energy, you have to be in good health. This is very important. You have to understand that you need to be in good health in order to be a very successful distributor. So, you know, our life is running too fast. Can we slow down aging? I put yes, you can, but the lawyer said no, you cannot say that. So I let you answer. In order to do that, we need to fulfill 3 targets. And the first one is synergy between all the methods. I didn't have time today, but I did 4 or 5, I'm doing 4 or 5 Jeunesse Longevity TV on lifestyle. This is very important. You have to combine lifestyle method and food supplement from the company. If you combine them together, you will have much more chance to live longer and healthily. This is the first condition. The second one is about persistence. You know, I'm sorry to tell you that this is a 24-day job, 7-day a week, all your life. It means lifestyle cannot be just, I stop for 1 month and I come back. No, you have to do it every day. You have to think about lifestyle every day. The third one is about knowledge. You have to look for knowledge. You have to look for knowledge in nutrition, in physical activity, in stress management, in behavior. You have to look for knowledge in order to know what you're talking about, what you want to do. And if you do that, if you put more life in your years, you will gain more years in your life. My name is William Amzallag, and I am Generation Young. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the stage your General Manager of Canada, Martine, Girotto, and your General Manager of United States of America, Mr. Brent Webb.
Hey, hello everybody. How are we doing today?
Hey. Guys, are you ready for this? Like this.
You like this? Does that look good? You want some free product? All right, this is what you're gonna have to do. Get your ticket out, and everyone has to stand up. Okay? So everyone stand up, and as we read the numbers, when your number's not there, you sit down. And we'll see who's standing up at the end, okay? All right, now we're gonna put the numbers up on the board so everyone can see them. We're gonna get a good mix here.
If you can dance, it's even better.
That's
Because I
right.
see some people still sitting.
Yeah, that's true. Let's see
It's
some
not
dancing.
negotiable. It's not negotiable.